Just one more minute and we will get started. This is a one-of-a-kind exclusive experience today. And just a heads up, stay tuned because at the end of the webinar, we will have a QR code and a link for you guys to book a session with our experts that I'll be introducing today. So be sure to stay tuned. Alrighty. So, hi everyone. Welcome to the Monetize More webinar on the Sustainable Compliant Path to Higher RPS. I am Arjul, your host for the session, and I invite you all to pay close attention and get curious as we walk you through the strategic shift in the APAC market. Now, for a bit of background, here are some of the things we've observed recently. In the APAC market, the publisher ecosystem is growing rapidly, and more publishers across the region are adopting a performance-driven strategies to scale in both sessions and revenue. Now, however, the problem we consistently observe is this: without a secure foundation in traffic quality, engagement signals, and partner policy alignment, early growth often leads to low revenue per session, unstable monetization, and even increase the risk of account termination. Now, this year alone, web publishers are no longer just chasing algorithms or waiting for organic traffic to recover. So the reality is simple. Sustainable growth now comes from ownership, control, and solid and steady scalable performance. AI has fundamentally reshaped discovery and media buying. So, in this post search environment, successful publishers are shifting their focus and are building direct audience relationships. And by doing so, they are protecting access to demand and they are operating with economic discipline. Entrepreneurs and publishers, for the first time in the APAC market, Monetize More is proud to introduce the Performance Publishers Operating System, or PPOS. Let me tell you more a bit of what PPOS is. So, PPOS is a compliance-first, traffic quality-led framework built for the AI era. It is designed to help publishers acquire high-intent users who strengthen auctions and improve revenue per session, build real audience and identity ownership and repeat engagement, protect revenue by prioritizing traffic quality and staying aligned with partner policies, optimize session level economics, focusing on revenue per session rather than just page RPM, and of course, scale predictably through performance led acquisition and efficient auction operations. At its core, PPOS is about helping publishers scale responsibly, strengthen monetization performance, and build a sustainable, long-term growth engine in a post-search world. Are you guys excited? Here to lead that exploration, I'm joined by a colleague who specializes in turning complex yield strategies into repeatable success. He has worked with hundreds of publishers across every maturity level to build the SOPs and product experiences that drive real growth. To help us unlock sustainable revenue through structured systems and to guide us through learning more about PPOS, let us give a warm welcome to Monetize More Senior Product Manager, Leo Forte. Welcome, Leo.
Hey, thank you, Arjo, for the fantastic presentation. Really appreciate it. And to me, it's a big pleasure to be with you guys presenting this business model, this kind of a way. I cannot say new because it's very diffunded here in Latam, but it's a new way we want to present to you guys because it's very successful. Publishers in here make a lot of money, millions dollars a year, and we know you guys have that potential too. So, what is exactly the performance publisher operation system. And why that really matter? The idea of that is to build a business that can be totally compliant, totally profitable, and in a long term business model. We don't want to get terminated. We don't want to lose our investment in this business because of no compliant acquisition or no compliant communication. So we'll really dive deeper here uh, into what is this business model and how you guys can really apply that. That basic work it with a trust traffic acquisition. We must also to engage our users, so we have some strategies to help you guys to do that. We have high CPM, as you guys will see, and the IVT, the invalid traffic, is pretty low. And fortunately, we also have the traffic copy to protect our inventory. So I'm totally, I have 100% of confidence that same business model works very well in Latam, can be applied to APAC market too. You know, some publishers are making over $15 million a year. So that is a lot of money. Now I give to you back, Arjo.
Thank you so much, Leo. I'm sure Leo's discussion has sparked your curiosity and interest and want to learn more about PPOS. And so for your questions, please post them on the chat and our moderator will note of it for the Q&A towards the end of the webinar. Also, later on, we'll be posting the link and QR code for you to book exclusive sessions with our experts. Next up, we have a true veteran of the game with 10 years in the trenches of digital advertising, whether he's launching global sales strategies for Spotify or designing acquisition models for us here at Monetize More. His focus is always on results. He is an expert, a strategist, and when things get particularly intense, an avid solo vocalist. To talk all things media buying and monetization, let's all give a warm welcome to M2's head of sales, Alex Ramatula. Welcome, Alex.
Yeah, thank you so much, Arjo. Welcome everyone to our webinar today. So essentially, this webinar is created to help every publishers, across the world. Right now, we specifically focus in APAC to ensure that you get the most money that you can from monetizing your website. Okay. All right. So in this slide, performance-led growth actually breaks down when underlying signals are weak. So a lot of publishers, especially in APAC, they mostly focus on scaling traffic first. That is what we actually see. So more users, more sessions and more volume. But we consistently see is that low performance is not a demand problem sometimes. It's a signal problem. And there are three very common patterns here that we detect. First is that we see a lot of low intent or inconsistent traffic. You might see spikes in volume, but from an auction perspective, the traffic doesn't convert to strong bid density. And second, we see like weak engagement signals, short sessions, shallow scroll depth, low interactions. All of these, tell buyers or advertisers that the users has low value. And third, we see that monetization volatility. So revenue goes up and down, not because demand disappeared, but because the system doesn't trust the traffic consistency. Now, why do signal matter so much here? Because they directly affect three things. First, advertiser bidding behavior. If the signal are weak, buyers simply bid lower, or they stop bidding altogether. And also number two, your RPS or revenue per session or session RPM, that's what they call you, or session value. You're not just monetizing traffic, you're monetizing the quality of that session. And number three, this is the most that people underestimate, which is the account trust and enforcement sensitivity. Weak signals make your account more fragile in the eyes of the platform. So the real shift that we're encouraging publisher to make is this. Stop thinking scale first. Think stability first. Before you push more traffic, make sure your current traffic is consistent and high quality. And quality before volume. A small amount of strong traffic will always outperform a large amount of low signal traffic. And most importantly, signal before spend. Because once the signal are strong, that's when performance-led growth actually becomes scalable and predictable. Okay, we can go to the second slide. Yeah, so here is the actual comparison. On the left, you're looking at the non-PPOS performance, and on the right, you see PPOS performance. And I want to be very, very clear, this is not about the volume. Because if you look at the non-PPOS side, the impressions numbers are actually high. The problem is not the traffic, but the problem is the value per impression. You'll notice a consistent pattern. Revenue is either flat or declining, eCPMs is extremely low, and performance is volatile. So what's happening here? This is what we typically see when monetization is running without strong signals and without purchase intent, or the intent of the traffic that comes to your website. You're feeling impression, but buyers, the advertisers, are not competing for them. And when there is no competition in the auction between the advertisers, revenue, RPS, any important metrics would definitely collapses. Now look at the PPOS side here. It's really, amazing. As you can see that impressions are actually lower in some cases, but revenue is dramatically higher. Why? Because this traffic comes with stronger intent, stronger engagement towards the content that you produce on your website. And of course, it produces stronger buyer confidence. So instead of monetizing traffic, you're monetizing users with value. That's why you see here the comparison between the eCPM. With the non PPOS, the highest CPM that we display on this presentation is only $2.13. But with all the strong intent applying the PPOS, it can actually achieve up to 500 dollars. Isn't that a great number for a publisher? So that is something that we would like to really emphasize here, that doing everything that you can to produce great strong signal for advertiser can actually get you to that level. Okay, so more impressions doesn't mean more revenue. What matter is here how much demand is competing for each impression. And that only happens when the underlying signals are strong and the user has a real intent coming to your website and spend their time there. So that is my take. Arjun, I'm going to give it to you again so that we can start walking through our publisher towards the path that they need to go to.
Thanks, Alex. Now, everyone talked about a high impact strategy, right? High yield, and it is high quality at the same time. So, once again, thank you, Alex, for highlighting the important metrics for PPOS. Again, guys, keep your questions coming. Our moderator is taking note of your questions in the chat. We'll raise them with Leo and Alex on the Q&A after their presentation. And of course, stay tuned for the QR code and link to book exclusive time with our experts. And also, to further break the PPOS framework into its components, let's bring back Leo Forte as we dive deeper into the framework. Take it away, Leo.
Thank you, Arjun. Again, thank you, Alex. And guys, I believe results can tell to us all the truth. And as you can see, unguessed data, opinion doesn't matter much. And we want to really present to you guys in this time uh, how that can work for you, because we want you to run this business model. Okay, so why the CPM is so high like that? Why we have such huge numbers, impressive numbers related to revenue and quality? Because we play compliant. Okay, and for sure, that is the reason why we can keep doing this business model over uh, 10 years already. Okay, so that is not new in here, but it's still being very profitable, and all because we play this very compliant. So we are buying traffic from platform that we can trust. We are really building experience and engagement with the users and for the users, because that matters a lot for Google. We are focused on to build good quality traffic source. So, and we can protect again our inventory for any kind of no valid traffic. So the buyers that want to bid in our website can trust more in the traffic that you are bringing. And for sure, the compliance here, the compliance strategy is not to create any friction, but actually to give more power to us. So we can, in that way, we can grow much more that business. We can go to the next slide. And in here, I we built for you guys illustration, a very brief scheme where you can picture in your mind to try to figure out how that wall works. Okay, so first thing here that is very important to say, we want to bring a user that are having their experience in another place. Could be on their Instagram, could be on their desktop while they are working, could be anywhere. And we must to communicate with that person that are having their experience, and we must to convince them to come to our website. And we do this through creatives. So we must to do some kind of creatives that will impact this user. The communication must to be also nice, you know. Uh, and we're gonna do this through very trustful platforms like Google or Facebook ads. And again, we can do also by emails, but we must to build our own base. We cannot buy like cold lists for that. And because of this, we are able to bring these users to our website, and we can go with a quiz. And why the quiz? The quiz are focused on user engagement. The quiz are also used to save some valuable data and information about this user. If you have a product that can be very good for you, in that we can increase the value of this user, because imagine if you are build um, 3 4 steps before you really deliver what the user are looking for, you are increasing their expectation, and you are just uh, increasing their value too. But also you can drive them directly to your first page or the landing page. And as you can see, the quiz page will drive the user to that page too. And in there, we start our monetization with strong signals and higher CPM, higher viewability, and for sure higher CTR numbers. In that business model of CTR, you guys saw the viewability were about, let me show quickly for you guys, were about over 88% of viewability. So that is very strong signal. The CTR can reach easily 60% of clicks by impression. So that is also a great signal that you are giving the user are engaging in our content. And then after the first page, we are drive the users to a second one where they can know more about that content. And on the last stage of this, we finally must to deliver what we promised at first. So end to end, we can connect the user, the idea we sell to them in our creatives, and on the end, we must deliver what we really promise. So moving forward here, the question is, so what now? How can I really measure the successful of this strategy? The main goal here, because we are showing a business model where you must to buy traffic with a good traffic quality, and you are monetizing in your website and also with your inventory, you must look in and target the ROI, the ROI, the return of investment. That is very important because it's where you can balance your costs, so your cost per lead, your cost per acquisition, And again, your revenue per session or revenue or session RPM. Okay, all the same, different names, but the same metric. And why we must look into revenue per session? Because we are building funnels like this, multiple pages. So we are not just focused on one single page. We must focus on whole strategy, because each step in here we can monetize more a little bit. And no, and on the end of this business, we are able to have a good ROI. Okay, uh, so is that the basic and more important metric for that? And what success look like for beginners? We are not saying you guys are beginners as a publishers, but we are presenting a business model that can totally apply and totally fit for you guys, because I know you also work with performance marketing too. And the first thing is to have an stable ad account. And how that would look like. Uh, we strongly recommend, guys, and that works actually here with Google Ads, Meta Ads, so Instagram and Facebook, also TikTok, Kawaii. That on other platforms is also amazing. They have a good engagement. Uh, and can bring a good leads and users for you. So first thing, we need this. We need you guys to buy traffic from that platforms. We can help you guys to design better funnels and to optimize the price floor of your website, the price that you want to bidders pay for you. We have a strong platform in here that is about to be launched in the end of March. We already have one that is also good, but we are updating our products, the Smart Floor Controller. So you guys will be able to increase much more your RPS, the revenue of your website. And again, you can also have you must have total clarity of how much you are expending and how much money you are doing, and then you can know if the business is profitable or not. So that is the first look of how that should works, and we are here totally to help and guide you guys to be successful, as we have a lot of other clients doing too. Arjo, that is with you now, man. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Leo, for further breaking down this framework into its core components. Now, I'm pretty sure for our viewers, you guys are getting curiouser and curiouser by the second as our experts are sharing their insights into this framework that definitely works for 2026. So, everyone, I'm sure you've gained more clarity and deeper context into how PPOS is your winning strategy this 2026. Most especially because in the advent of AI, we have a lot of invalid traffic that's scouring the web. And so we want to make sure that we target these high quality traffic and high value, of course. So, of course, let's answer some of your curious questions and let's open the floor for either Leo and Alex to share their insights. Welcome everyone to the Q&A. And so we have a couple of questions to get us started. Let me throw the first one. So for Leo and Alex, what does early growth look like with PPOS? Let's start with Alex first.
So how it looks like, the growth? Well,
Yep.
basically, with PPOS, how it looks like, we will guide a publisher into, creating the funnel that Leo presented, and after that, we will also guide the publisher on the healthy, traffic acquisition strategy that they need to, do, and after that, we will proactively check on their monetization side of what kind of optimization needed to ensure that they, achieve the highest revenue attainment, for their initiative that they're doing with PPOS. And of course, in that, we're going to create a very clear plan so that, the publishers and monetize more will be aligned on when to essentially scale, and what kind of signals that will be collected to ensure that the scale will be as healthy, as the expectation for both parties. Hope that answers, Leo.
Yeah, totally. Definitely, we are totally here to guide you guys in this. And on the beginning, maybe the business model can be kind of confused or challenged, but you can trust in our guidance in our process because um, we are on this market for too many years. I'm personally too. I'm here for a long time, so we have a lot of successful cases and also a lot of failure cases that we can guide you guys. Please don't go that way or go this way. So yeah, that is what I could say.
Thanks, Leo and Alex, for sharing your insights. Now, let me do a follow up question. So, in the early stages, given that PPOS for some, it might be a daunting name, but this strategy is not new, right? Or rather, it might be new for the APAC region. Alex, can you talk more about what it means to apply this strategy that we are taking from Latam and applying it in the APAC region?
Yeah, thank you, Arjel, for that question. It's a really great question. Right now, some of our, Latam publishers have done it very successfully. So what it means for our APEC publisher, essentially, this Latam publisher, they kind of like buying the traffic from the same, um, top rated ad platform. So, which is really accessible for the APEC publisher. So we see great opportunity here for the APEC publisher to essentially explore how to apply this PPOS, from monetizations and traffic buying perspective, because it essentially the same and coming like from the same kind of like environment, which is like the buy side and the sell side. So definitely for the APEC publishers, they do have the capacity to do and try and get the same result that our Latam publishers have been successfully doing. Yeah, that would
Thanks,
be my
Alex.
take.
How about for you, Leo?
Yeah, I would like to say when we say Latam publisher, we are saying actually where they are located, but not exactly where they're running their strategies. So that is very important, guys, to understand. We are on a digital era, a digital moment where we can target people from any place, everywhere, anytime. So this business model, we say with Latam business model, or because they are located here, mostly in Brazil, but they are running their strategy in all globe: England, USA, Canada, Nigeria, South Africa, Colombia, Mexico. You guys get it, and they get to they really understand how market works in that region, and also we also understand this. That is why we are helping so many publishers to make so much money on this business model. So we would love to guide you guys also on that.
Thank you so much, Leo and Alex. Now, of course, let's dive deeper and let's talk numbers. How much is the expected spend and ROI when we use the PPOS business model?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah, um, glad to. How much is the expected spend and ROI when we use the PPOS business model? Investment versus ROI. I'm pretty sure you showed the numbers earlier over some time, but per, let's say, if I were to spend $1, what's the return on investment?
Okay, that is a great one, and I can answer that with a depends, because again because the business model works over the globe, so that will depend where you are buying that traffic. So let's say you want to buy users from USA. that can be expensive, more expensive than users in Brazil. You know, so what you, but also the revenue in there will be higher. So that you must balance how much you want to expand and how much you will win. And you must for sure to optimize your acquisition platform to buy better leads with better CPA, you know, and also you must optimize the revenue side. And for that, we have the better tools to make better CPMs for that for your strategy. So that depends, but we can say to you guys like if you want to start this at the beginning, you may need to expend some money to teach your platform to find the right conversion. uh, Google, I recommend a lot because Google is very stable. After 20 days of learning, Google can deliver good quality of leads for you, and then you will see how your inventory will behave with your traffic. And with that, you can easily like we have a lot of cases of publishers have 80% of ROI. So I think that is a lot. That is it's hard to find business that can scale over $1 million monthly and keep doing that same target of investment of return of investment, you know. But depends of how good you are in buy traffic, and also to understand the user behavior in your website to improve the price of your inventory. So that depends a lot. That is not a simple question, and that is why we love so much to follow publishers in their journey to help them and assist them. That is our work actually.
Great question. And looks like we have one from Kamaya. Thank you for posting your question. So Kimaya asks, what's the expected timeline to see meaningful revenue impact after applying the PPOS framework?
Yeah, so we have one timeline that depends where you are right now. If you already have one approved website, that is quicker because you will onboard our MCM, and then we can start it, build the website, focus on that strategy. Okay, and let's say you take a week to organize your website and prepare your website for that. If you are using Google, as I told you, a fresh account, you must teach to the platform which are the best user for that. So that usually take 20 days uh, of expanding a minimum in there. So after that 20 days, we will start see some signals of improvement, and then after a week, you can definitely target positive ROI. So that is one path, considering the website is already approved. But if it is not approved, you have the time of approval. So and that will depend of Google itself. And for sure, we have the compliance team, and we have a specialized team to help publishers to approve website, and then we can also assist on this process too. You know, so let's say running the business at on the first month, on the end of first month, you can actually see positive signals for your strategy.
Thank you so much, Leo, for painting the picture of the first few days and first few weeks of what it looks like having and applying PPOS as a business model and strategy this 2026. Now we have a question from our viewer, from Helena Dante. As an early stage site, we find it hard to work with many companies like you. Is there a minimum number of traffic we must have to be able to work with you? Now let me throw this question over to Alex.
Yeah, thanks, Archel. So, Helena, thanks for the question. So I totally understand as an early stage side, it's really hard to actually find a partner like us. So in terms of the minimum number of traffic, especially for these PPOS, I think our evaluation will be, a bit different. We're going to really assess how much spend in terms of the advertising budget that you can actually do on a daily or a monthly basis, and we're going to be basing on that. So there will be no minimum traffic requirement in terms of your website, but your minimum spend will actually be evaluated here. So if you'd like to really receive more information and join a personalized working session, I highly suggest you to book a call, through the link that we have provided you, so that we can, get more granular into what your situation right now and condition to understand how we can help you. Yeah, thank you, Arjo.
Thanks, Alex. Now, to all our viewers, we want to set clear expectations that every business, every publisher, of course, has their unique way of operating. And so it is our pleasure to set up a time with you so we can better understand your situation and how we can move that conversation forward. So, using the link that is on the chat right now, and plus the QR code that we'll be presenting later on, please do so and book a call, book a session with both Leo and Alex, so we can better understand and drive you towards the right direction in how to apply PPOS and or how our business can properly aid you and guide you in growing and scaling up your operations. But let's have another question from our audience coming from Aaron Paksoy. Aaron asks, could you please share some technical information about PPOS framework integration process? And of course, let me throw this question out to Leo, who is our process master about PPOS. Take it away, Leo.
Yeah, technical. I would understand better what you means by technical, but I will provide answer for that while you can let on the chat and we can check it. But we must have uh, a server, a host where you can support a good volume of traffic. You also have to build your website to be very quickly, very fast, because you want to load your ads most faster possible to your user be able to see their ads. So why is the viewability so high like that? Because uh, they build a website that is very fast, very performatic, and the ads can be loaded while the user are on the viewport, where we can give the viewability for that. Doesn't matter if we impress the ads and the user not see, you will not get paid. And the user just can click in the ads they are seeing. So the focus must to be build a website that is very quickly. So for example, very quickly is sometimes can be a problem too. So let's say you build a quick, very fast website. If the user land there and quickly scroll, quite before the ad be filled, you will also lose the viewability. So it's important to combine some features like a preloader. So preloader, for example, is a very important strategy because we are running this preloader while we are giving time to our tech and the inventory find the bidder for you. So we will combine some strategies and infrastructure and tech development to be able to build this perfect environment to high performance results. For example, also the quizzes, you must to track like conversions. You must to track if you want to save some kind of information, you need to save this information maybe through API. How you gonna build that? That will depend if you have technical skills for that, or you can pay for a solution. We have one that we are building that will also be able to collect data from quizzes and send directly for you in your database or direct in your uh, campaign email platform, so that all depends with that all depends which strategy we want to design, but mainly the focus is to uh, build a better performance website, and also things in how the user will interact that and how you can track what they are doing in here. Is that your question? Did I answer, Arjo? I hope that I.
Thank you, Leo. We're hoping to hear back from Erin for a follow-up question. And
Okay.
for Helena, we see your question. I will direct that to Alex for his response on the chat. But we have a question here from Lucille, and let me direct this question over to Leo. So Lucille asks, what is the percentage of ROI increase that we expect if we buy traffic and use PPOS? And who is the target audience and what niche is effective? And so there are
Great
some
question.
operational questions here for you, Leo.
No, yeah, that is a great question. Niche, we have a lot. Okay, we have finance. Finance, the most we can say is the most profitable one, but it's not easy because some countries demand some certifications, and you also that works a lot with retention strategies. So you must have a good strategy to buy traffic. You must be very good to with retention strategies, and also you must to looking very much in your monetization part of the business, that is your website. So if you are not good on these three areas, that can be a challenge to scale. Also, it's very expensive. So let's say a lead in USA costs $1. So if you are expending $20 to $200 a day, you're only buying 200 persons to your website, and that is not much to really optimize your inventory. So, but it's a great niche. Okay, each country have different value of CPA. Okay, we also have like uh, games, jobs, apps. What is apps? Apps is like where people can watch some kind of TV shows, some kind of brand clothes. We say like apps too, in general, we that niche that is perform very well. It is related to content that can scale very much, very popular niches. Okay, if you try to maybe travels is also very good. You can try to do something with more valuable person or more qualified people, but that can increase too much our CPA and also not be so scalable. So the segmentation in general is almost zero. We want that to be more broad possible because this business model is not really focused on product. You can put products if you have some affiliate program or if you have something on the end of your strategy, but you will see the revenue that you make with affiliate market is like 5% of the comparing of how much money you do using this business model. So the idea here it is really focused on to build better experience to your audience to monetize more with the ads. So we are creating an environment that I say to Google, you can trust me. The audience I'm bringing to my website is very valuable. You will convert a lot for your clients because here we are working with Google, looking for users for the clients that is expending money in the Google ads. Okay, so we are making money with the spread. Google also make money with the spread between what are paying and what they are in charging the media buyers. So we are on the middle of this, and because we get it, okay, we are paying that much, so probably my client is also paying something similar, I don't know, and we are making that, so we must to make some kind of strategy of this pricing floor to really have some real profitability in this business. So yeah, that is it.
Thank you so much, Leo. I'm sure Lucille has gotten a lot of her questions answered by your explanation. And so, with that, let me make sure that we realign with what PPOS, or Performance Publishers Operating System, is all about, you guys. First and foremost, it's 2026 and AI is rampant. By that, we mean that the traffic that you get and receive on your site may not be an actual person. And so it is important that we put strategies in place to make sure that not only are we getting valid and high value traffic, but at the same time, we engage with actual humans. And so what Leo is presenting on the screen right now through the funnel illustration that he has up there, and by adding these strategies, such as a quiz and other strategies that we will be implementing in line with Performance Publishers Operating System, this ensures that for every ad that you have on the page, it works holistically and together with the strategies in terms of the content of your site, what is on the page, because the more the relevant uh, questions or quizzes that you have in on the page, the more relevant ads that are also integrated on there. And so there can be a lot of questions, and that's why it will actually take a team to help you set up. It will take Leo's insights, Alex's insights, to really understand what your site's context is all about and how we can put in and apply Performance Publishers Operating System to make sure that you have scalable and steady growth throughout the implementation and in long term. We're not talking about a pump and dump scheme here. No, this is long term growth, long term sustainable quality growth. And that's what PPOS is in a nutshell, but there's more to it. And so let me call on Alex here next because he will share a bit of insight as to what he has seen in terms of PPOS. Earlier, Alex talked about the data, but can you talk more, Alex, about possible challenges or roadblocks that new publishers might encounter with implementation of PPOS? Perhaps you can share those experiences and insights.
Yeah, thank you so much for that great question, Arjo. Yeah, in terms of the challenges and the bottlenecks that many publishers face during the implementation is the need to really build the funnel. So they really, some of them, because this is a new thing, they do have the budget, they do have the traffic, but this is a new approach that not everybody understands. So the challenge is to really get aligned into how to build the funnel so that we can achieve the the goal that they would like to achieve. So there is the challenges, and I understood and caught that challenges. So we already worked internally, with Leo and other people, internally, to really create a process to really help guide the publishers so it's easier for them and not become the challenges when they get started. So it was a challenge. Right now, it's no longer a challenge. Archel, it's being resolved. I would like to really hear from each of the publishers what they are currently doing right now and how interested they are in terms of getting the high RPM that we've seen on the screenshot. So I'm really expecting the publishers to book on a call, and we would like to really go through their current situation and challenges so that we can walk them through to the right path and get them the revenue that they're aiming. So in here, I would like to invite everybody not to a pitching call, not to a sales call, but more on like to a working session for us to discover each other and really understand how we can help you for monetize more. Here is the QR. We also have the link inside our chat section there for you to book a call. I look forward to attending the session with all of you and really get to know how we can help you earn the revenue that you deserve from all the efforts that you're doing for the monetization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alex. Although we have one more question from Mohammed Shabazz, who asks, our traffic is from URL redirection. Is it valid traffic? Now, Mohammed, I invite you to book a session with Leo, who is also an expert in understanding and helping you through your question. And so for all our viewers, we actually have a solution for that called Traffic Cop, which also helps filter out invalid traffic. But you can learn more about that on the web. But I invite you to book a session with Leo and Alex and our team. This is a one-time exclusive conversation, and we want to better understand your context because we can then provide true targeted solutions to each of your concerns and how we can best customize it to your own needs. And so, with that being said, Alex, back to you to close our session for today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Arjel. I'm very excited to see the excitement from all our potential partners and publishers here that are really excited to apply the PPOS to their business. So, guys, again, I would like to set up a working session with you. Please book the call, through that link and also the link on the chat so that we can meet up, really talk about your current situation, what your goals are in the next like 30, 60, 90 days so that we can understand how we can best help you and apply the PPOS directly to your setup. Yeah, I think that's all for today. For any questions, I think Arjul can explain what will be the next steps, if they have any questions. But yeah, that is my closing statement. Do book the call. Let's do the working session together and discover how we can apply the PPOS to your setup. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Leo, any final parting words to our audience tonight?
Yeah, guys, I would like to thank you so much for that time, for giving your time to us to really try to understand this high-level presentation. We have much more to deliver, and we really would like you guys to go on this business model because the opportunity is huge. The Google making over $200 billion year with this market. So there is a lot of money on the table. And I think you guys, if already are familiar with some kind of performance marketing, you must look into this because that is a gold mine, and we can definitely help you to achieve these results. So I'm be very happy to help you guys to really make this amount of money that we are seeing our Latam publishers are making, And yeah, we are excited to onboard you all and to know you better. That is
Thank
it.
you so much, Leo. And again, to everyone who stayed this long with us, thank you so much for joining us in today's webinar. And just a couple of reminders, of course, make sure to click on the link and take a screenshot of the QR code that is on the screen. Book your sessions with Leo and Alex before those slots run out. Again, you guys, this is an exclusive time. These experts are busy. They're part of our executive team and their calendars fill up really quickly. So make sure that you book those in. Should you have additional questions later on that you missed to ask during this session, you can most definitely reach out to us through the email that we've sent you to book this webinar. And so, again, until our next webinar, thank you so much, everyone. Have a good rest of your week ahead. Thank you so much for joining us in this session. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. See you all. Bye bye.